Next, I will talk briefly. I will try to on a movie called Never Really, Sometimes Always. Yes, it's it's a mouthful. Kind of hard. Like even before going into this, I was trying to remember this title here, and there's a reason why it's called that, right? But I'll explain a bit. But really, what this is about, it's drama, right? And it's about a 17-year-old girl. Her name is Autumn, played by Sydney Flanagan. This is her debut film appearance, basically. She not only is she the actress, but she's also a singer slash songwriter, and they do have a couple of moments where she gets to show off her singing abilities, and she could play a nice little acoustic guitar as well, too, right? But essentially, what this show is about here is that she is pregnant. We're not told who the father is. I do have a little speculation as to who the person is. I don't want to spoil it, and it's really about her trying to get an abortion. In a nutshell,
Okay.
that's what it's about. So, along with her, she has her cousin Skylar, who's played by another first timer, Talia Ryder, and they leave their home they leave their Pennsylvania home. They jump on a Greyhound. No, not a Greyhound. They just jump on a bus, basically, head down to New York, and basically just to have this abortion. I just kind of seeing, just life and just how Autumn is dealing with this situation, and that in a nutshell is what it's about.
Okay.
It's it's very simple, it's very to the point, right? But the reason why I'm talking about this show here in particular is because one of my favorite film reviewers from Rajiva.com gave this a 3.5 out of 4 stars. And I was hearing people saying that this could be one of the year's best films, right? But in the States, this came out, and I think at the time it was about to come out, that's when we got hit with the COVID-19. Well, that's where America really got hit with the COVID-19 stuff, and movies were pretty much pulled out the theaters, right? So I had to wait till this thing came out on video on demand. So it came out Friday, last Friday, times record. I was able to see the show, and I'll put it like this, right? A few years back, I believe this was around the time when Lady Bird came out. We
Right.
both checked it out, and we were both kind of nonplussed by it. It was just like we were neither here nor there about it, and mainly we were just going off of, oh, this is Oscar hype. And you're right, I remember this was around the time when the Academy Awards was coming around, so it's like, oh, this is nominated for Best Picture and all that kind of stuff. So movie had to be great, right? And everybody praised the show to high heaven. Some people call it the best movie of the year, and it will go as far as being one of the best movies of the decade, right? So I kind of went in, well, not with my expectations that high, but me going in kind of expected this show to kind of blow my mind, right? And not comparing it exactly to Ladybird, but yeah, it's another Ladybird scenario all over again,
Okay.
where
Well,
it's
when they say abortion, I was thinking Juno.
right,
Uh,
right, right. But at least in that you had comedy, well, you had dark humor basically, but you just had a charming performance from Ellen Page. You had Michael
right.
Senior. You know what I mean? You just had charming characters throughout. It's a comfortable topic, but the characters is what any smart script, by the way, make it work, right? Actually, one of the best scripts. Well, people argue so one of the best scripts ever written. You know what I mean? And well, the reason being is because, and this is why I don't want to compare it to Ladybird, because even Ladybird had, it was pseudo realist, right? But at the same time, it had a bit of theatricality, I would say, right? Oh, this is a lead actress or whatever. This is that actress who I know in comedic roles being funny, even though she's played a real character, right? And that would be the actress who played Lady Bird's mom. I forgot her name, right? But whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. What you're talking.
yeah, so this is going for pseudo realist, but real realist, right? And what I mean is that characters won't break out into tears and talk loud, or quarrel and be all theatrical when they're expressing themselves. It's very, yeah, it's very low key. It's very low key. The way characters
You know
talk.
what? I think it's called a mumblecore. Is it that?
I think it's that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even though I'm not too versed in all things mumblecore, but yeah, it's exactly that, where it feels like sort of yeah, like they're going for realism. They like clearly, it's almost like you're watching a documentary in a way, but just with better lighting and cinematography and stuff like that. So yeah, you're right there. Yeah, so that's what they're going for here. And for a story like this, something simple and that grand or whatever it is, it works, right? You need to have that there. But once again, I just felt like I was just neither here nor there about it. Like, okay, this is a character driven film, right? True and true. You see Autumn deal with the situation. She makes some bad calls. She makes some calls that you wouldn't expect, but it's all about her dilemma, what she's going through, and how she feels, right?
Right.
There's a little thing going on with Skylar. Well, it's just basically with them in New York, and basically what they try to show here is that this is a whole contrast from Pennsylvania, right? So they're in a new world, they're learning stuff while Autumn is going through her drama now. So it has that kind of fish out of water vibe, but it's also a coming of age story as well, right? So they try to play both. So yeah, it's interesting enough to watch, but I don't know. I just felt similar to Lady Bird. Like I am in the wrong audience. Like I would relate to this thing. I'm
Yeah.
not saying because I'm a guy I would understand this. I do understand it, right? But
Is
I
he? I don't
guess
know.
I kind of have to
I
be
just,
a white person. That to sound racist. Like I have to be a American, or I should say a white American, to really grasp this.
no, yeah, it's the Lena Dunham feminism crowd. It's that crowd.
It
It's people
is,
who
yeah.
like that's always come across to me. Like it's like I get it, but I don't. I'm not feeling it because almost all of it is that kind of privilege, is that kind of thing, which is hard to like light up on. It's hard to like think for now. Like yeah,
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
you're
I don't.
right. Yeah, like I
I don't
get
know,
the
but
show though. What? Sorry?
yeah, but Lady Bird was like that for me. Is that yeah, I get it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's like what exactly is the struggle though? Yeah,
Well, you're right. And for me, it was just like, why people love this show so much? Like,
right.
great, the acting was fine and everything was fine. But why are people giving this thing A+ and best movie of the year and all kind of stuff? I just see characters being as realistic as possible. I'm not saying that I don't love films like that. Like ever so often, I will find a show like, let me just say Moonlight is like the closest example I
Right.
could think of where characters play. They feel real, they feel down to earth, but the story is just so well written and so captivating. It doesn't matter if I live in Miami or not. I could somehow relate to the story, even though I'm not like that character Shironen. You know what I mean? But still, there was a lot in that show to really like and latch on to. This one
Yeah.
is just, once again, it's just a girl trying to find her way, trying to figure out what to do. And you make a good point with the Lena Dunham reference here. Okay, yeah, this is clearly a feminist film, clearly, right? Um,
Right.
I do like, though, maybe I'm wrong, I just see it as a guy. I do like, though, that it doesn't take any particular stance as far as abortion goes. I was worried that it was going to be all pro-abortion, right? But at the same time, the show is smart enough to say it's this person's choice, right? You're not
Yeah. Yeah.
supposed to take the whole point of the show is that, oh, that abortion is good. That's not the point of the show. It's just this is this girl's decision. This is what she's doing. And this is where I'll go into who the father is. Like, while I don't want to say who the father is, it's hinted that it's a particular male figure who appears early in the film.
Right.
And like later on, there's a really great scene. Actually, probably the best scene in the movie, mainly because it's a long take, right? And it's all centered on Sydney, right? On her face, basically, as she's being interviewed by this doctor, and that's where we get the title from, right? So essentially, she would make a statement, and you essentially have to answer the statement or the question by saying either saying the words never, really,
Right. Right.
sometimes, or
Right. Yeah.
always, right?
It's one
Yeah,
of those. It's one of those like listings. No. Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
maybe okay. Right. Right.
yeah, and it has to do with,
It's
well,
psychology is time
sorry,
in these multiple choice. Yeah. See, it's like them little psychological tests all the time now. So
right,
never sometimes. Right. Okay. Okay. That's where it come from. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I get
you're
it
right,
now.
exactly. I didn't know about it, but then I was telling myself, okay, I like, as the movies was, as I got into the story, I told myself, I feel it had to do with a questionnaire. I have a feeling so. And then when they drop that scene, it's like, all right, I was right. But in the context of what's going on, it makes sense, right? Because what they do
Right, right,
here, without spoiling too much, is that they kind of unravel some bad things that was going on with in her life, right?
right,
Which
right,
pretty much led to her becoming pregnant. And it's hinted that a male figure had something to do with it, right? Even though she doesn't
right,
call that person's name out, up front there.
right,
But if you think about it like that, though, then it kind of makes sense why she would go through with this abortion thing, right? Because they're like,
right, right,
oh, I just had sex raw, and look at what happened. What do I do? No, it's
right,
deeper than that, right? But at the
right. So
same
yeah,
time,
they're related to a certain trauma. Okay.
yeah. So that's what
Right,
I picked up from it. Maybe I'm
right.
wrong, but that's why I picked up on it, right? Because well, the show itself doesn't really go back to say, that's really what happened. It's just speculation, right? But at the
Yeah.
same
Well,
time, though,
that's a big part. No, but that's a big part because well, the way you're framing it as it's implied that the child is a product of rape now. And one of the big parts of a lot of that is that is what we call unreliable narration and how when they talk about believing women, that is a big part of that now. How to undermine a person who's a legitimate victim by saying, "Oh well, if you ain't get your story straight, it must mean it didn't happen." That bullshit now.
yeah.
And right, and if the movie is doing that, then to me it would be a lot deeper and more interesting than say something like Ladybird, um, in my opinion at least. If you're doing that, if you're going somewhere with it now, because my thing is that look, sexual assault is something that is a weird. There's a big weird kind of double standard and class with respect to that, and it's much easier to hide. I would argue it's a lot easier to hide and let slip in amongst white women, right?
Right,
This is I
right.
and so it because it's so easy to reframe the situation um in that case. Whilst with black people, it's like no, that's clearly rape happened there. Like it's not even a question. Um,
Yeah.
in that case, it's just whether or not you're going to excuse it, R. Kelly. But it have a clear there's a clear preponderance of evidence now. We could get into that debate about how people is believe who and why, but that is not the argument there. And if the movie is doing that, then I will give this more of a chance. Because the way you framing it as like when I some Ladybird, eighth grade bullshit going down.
Oh
And
no. But
okay,
but that's really that it's telling a fascinating story, but the way how it's telling it is fine,
right,
but just not gripping manner. You know what I mean? But just to talk about just briefly about the character of Otto, right? Who is played well enough by Sydney Flanagan. I mean, for first timer,
right,
she's great. She's great, right? I know a lot of people are gonna hype this thing to high heaven and say this is one of the best performances of the year. Hip and blah blah blah, right? But
right,
she's fine for what it is. But it's very subdued, very low key acting, right? And
right,
this to me, it works for the film at the same time. Like I'm not saying once again that characters have to break out and have long monologues about what happened and what they're dealing with and all that kind of stuff. But she is so subdued. It's almost like you have to do a little extra legwork to be like, okay, why is she acting like this? Why is she so quiet? Why is she
right,
always hesitant to talk to guys? Because that's another thing there. And then that's what I'm thinking. Oh,
right,
is that really why that is that what really led to her becoming pregnant in the first place, right? But that's why I'm glad that you had the contrast in terms of the cousin who is way more spirited, way more active, always because she's in a new place, a new city
right,
basically. She wants to do more things. You know what I mean? She wants to enjoy herself because essentially she's just there to support her cousin. She's there to support Autumn, and that she really have nothing to do. So
right,
in a way, once again, that whole fish out of water scenario, in a way, just not to spoil anything, it's kind of like Autumn, kind of um, learning to understand. Sorry, learning to try to get back. Sorry, into living life, to experiencing things and whatnot, right? All that good stuff.
right,
Whilst this is where the feminist angle comes in, even though I can't really justify it, she's kind of reclaiming it now by having
right,
this thing. But because they're so vague as to who the father is, that's why I framed it. That's why I couldn't help but think that, oh well, it's clearly a byproduct of rape basically, and this whole
right, right,
thing is kind of her just reclaiming her life. Because if not, then it's just her doing this thing for the script's sake now, you know what I mean? And I don't want to look
right,
at it like that. And I wouldn't think the show got all this praise because it was just simply, oh, what do I do? Ah, here's these people who could do this operation. Ta-da! The
Right.
end. It has to be more
Right.
than
Right.
that.
Right. Right.
But still, because of its subdued nature and because of its style, basically, which isn't bad, I just kind of came out of it like, yeah, it was fine. Not sure watch over again, but I just
Okay.
know, I know it. By year's end, this is gonna show up on a lot of best stuff lists. I know there's a couple right now because yeah, people just looking for stuff to watch that that is worth their time. So if they hear, oh, this show has been getting a lot of praise, they will check it out, right? And
Right. Right.
if you're curious, I mean, give it a look. But I don't know. I just went into this, saw it, came out, and I was like, yeah, it was fine, but it is what it is. It's one of those kind of indie films you watch, and it's cool, it's nice, it's there, but still the praise that's been thrown at it, and that's why I was comparing it to Lady Bird so much. It's just like I'm not saying it's not earned or you shouldn't throw praise at it, but still it should be for a lot more than oh look at how real the story is and look at how realistic these characters are. You don't see that in film these days. Like
Right.
that's all cool everything there, but that's not a reason for me to say, hey, this is the best movie of the year. You have to give them a little bit more. You know what I mean? More
Right.
story wise, more style wise, just more. You know what I mean? So without rambling too long, let me just get to my rating here one time. For what it's worth, I would give this decent, strong 3 out of 5. It was alright for me.
Okay.
Maybe if I watch it again, maybe I might like it more. I
No,
still
it's
would buy
only when
into
you
hype.
right. It's only when you describe the movie a little better. Because I was largely ignorant of it
Right.
until now. I'm surprised you actually wanted it because when you put it up on the thing to first thing, I was like, oh, I haven't heard about this at all. But now I actually
Yeah.
want to. The thing is, you say Lady Bird there, so I was like,
Yeah.
well, I would have wasted my time. But like this actually looking a lot more interesting than that. So I'll give this a chance. I'll probably watch it next and see if it would be hype or if it began better than I expected it to be. But I'll
Yeah.
make the effort to give it a proper review myself.
Right. Right. Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Right.
Okay.
So, in closing, this is not me saying any movie is terrible and unwatchable. It is highly watchable. I'm just saying
Watch you sexist.
I am just saying that a lot of people by year's end or even before that are gonna throw heaps of praise on this movie, and I will be one of the few that'll just be like, "But really though, really? Is it best of?" I don't know.
Right.
I think it's just mainly because of how we consume films. Like the bigger the film is, the more ambitious the film is, the better it is, and the more praise it should get. Right. So I would I don't know, I would more go for something with more thrills or more visceral elements in it, as opposed to something as simple and straightforward and you know harmless, basically, right? But as far as the topic goes, it does have a lot to say, basically, without saying a lot, which I really do appreciate. I do like the neutral stance it takes on abortion. I'm glad that it was like, oh, pro or anti, because then, people wouldn't care about it that much and people would find that some kind of propaganda piece or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, the acting is decent, story is decent for what it is, music is fine, the show is fine. That's all I say. The show is fine, right?
Right.
So give
Right.
it a look. You may like it more than I do. Maybe if I watch it a few more times, I'll be like, yeah, movie is great now. But for first time, I was like, yeah, uh, uh. But yeah,
Right.
give it a look. Give it a look,
I
Ricardo.
know.
Give
The
it a
thing
look
is,
if you like it.
that if you're doing, here's the thing. Unless you do something that is legitimately traumatic, I am hard pressed to take it seriously. Because if it's just about a character's anxiety or something like that, that's turned me off. That's why eighth grade didn't work for me. Because
Oh, I know.
it's
Funny
just
thing. Well, good thing you bring up A grade. So I didn't interrupt you. I actually enjoy A grade more, but that's mainly because I could relate to it in that sense. That whole awkwardness vibe. You know what I mean? That's something anybody can
right.
relate to, you know?
But that's something that I get it, it work. But you see, unless but like something like what do you call it, like your boy Chirac and them,
Moonlight.
Chiron, yeah, you're like in Moonlight, right? Unlike it's something like that, where it's like, yeah, that is like some real shit went down there.
Yeah, and it's a lot
It's
deeper than what the story and subject matter is about. It has a lot to say, but it's how it says it
right,
is
right,
great. Yeah.
right. So yeah, exactly. So if it's that, then all right, cool. Then I want to see it. I want to see what it is and how they handle that now. 'Cause
Yeah,
a
it's
big
it's
part
it's not a
of
moonlight though. Just like
no,
it's
no, no, no.
a whole
I
movie.
don't expect that. But I'll make the effort.
Right. And last things last, we talking Moonlight, this Moonlight that. Barry Jenkins is executive producer of this movie. I forgot to mention that.
No, listen, the man had it. Though. I tell you, the man had it. Though.
No, I know
But-
that. I know that. I'm not knocking you
Yeah.
guys out for being involved in this, but it's just so
Yeah.
funny that we're talking about Moonlight because it just
Yeah.
came to my mind just like that, right? And
No, but
yeah,
the
I
man,
forgot to mention he
no, because
he's
as a
executive producer.
director, no, but as a director, he get into that framework of trauma and how to deal with how people just remember trauma, how they just handle trauma. And I wanna see this now because of that. All right, cool.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
only
yeah.
because I searched now about it. It's like, oh, this actually looking good.
Yeah. But
Well, you
really,
tell me-
I would have ignored this. I would have ignored this had it not been for that review I saw on RogerEbert.com. And
Okay.
people pretty much saying one of the year's best. That's why I went to see it. That's why I checked it out because I was wondering, okay, for you to say that so early in the year, because yeah, we're relatively still early, there had to be something in it that real mind blowing. And then I saw it like
Right.
it's fine. But
Okay.
anyway, still give it a look. You may like it more than I do. If I watch it again, I may like it more, even more, I should say. But yeah, it is worth checking out, right? So yeah, give it a look.